Alright, so this question says Cassie sorted her beads into 100 piles. The first pile had 1 bead, the second pile had 3, the third had 5, and so on, each pile having 2 more beads than the one before. So Stacy sorted her beads into 100 piles, and then all those piles had the same number of beads. So if Stacy has the same number of beads that Cassie has, well, how many beads did Stacy put in each pile? So that's what this question is asking. But first, we should probably figure out how many beads does Cassie have, right? Because that'll tell us how many beads Stacy has. So how do we figure that out? Well, it tells us that Cassie has 100 piles of beads. The first pile has 1, the second pile has 3, 5, and so on, with each having 2 more than the previous. So this right there is an arithmetic sequence, right? Each pile has some constant amount more than the previous pile. So if we want to find the sum of the first 100 piles, we can just use the formula for the sum of an arithmetic sequence. So this is just the sum of any arithmetic sequence for n terms is going to be the first term, so I'm just going to call that a of 1, plus the last term, so a of n, times the number of terms over 2. And in a previous video, I kind of explained why this is the formula, and I know it can look a little bit intimidating, but it's really not bad at all. So the first term, of course, is 1, because there's 1 bead in that first pile. Now, in the last term is going to be the 100th pile, right? There was 100 piles, and we're trying to find how many beads are in all of them. So how do we find a of n, the number of beads in the last pile? Well, as you can see, we're adding 2 for every pile. So the second term is going to be 1 plus d, our common difference. 2 is equal to d, right? So our second term is going to be equal to 1 plus d. Now our third term, 5, is just going to be equal to 1 plus 2d. Our fourth term is going to be equal to 1 plus 3d. So I'm thinking you guys can sort of see the pattern here. So our 100th term is just going to be equal to our first term, 1 plus 99 times that common difference. So it's just going to be equal to 1 plus 99 times 2. So that's equal to 199. So now we know our first term and our last term. Our number of terms, of course, is just 100 because there's 100 piles. So we can plug all of that into this sequence. So a of 1, our first term is 1, last term is 199. Number of terms is 100 over 2. So this ends up being 200 times 100 over 2. So when we multiply all this out, we get that the sum of the first 100 terms is equal to 100 times 100, which is equal to 10,000. So yeah, there are 10,000 total beads. So clearly Cassie and Stacy are, they really like beads. But in any case, Stacy has the same total number of beads as Cassie. So Stacy also has 10,000 beads, except Stacy, we know, has 100 piles, each with an equal number of beads. So to find the number of beads Stacy put in each pile, all we have to do is simply take the total number of beads she has, 10,000, and divide it by 100 to get that Stacy has 100 beads in each pile.